Welcome to Creating Connections, episode number 62. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
I'm back.
Today, we're going to talk about creating connections and leveraging technology to create those connections.
Yeah.
Keep watching.
That was nice and easy.
What are you talking about? This also speaks to a much bigger issue.
Providing personal solutions through understanding people. This is the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer certified advisor Mitch Taylor and certified personality trainer Vickie Musni.
Welcome back to Creating Connections, episode 62. I am Gitomer certified advisor Mitch Taylor.
And I'm certified personality trainer Vickie Musni.
And today we are with the author of adjthought.com and also the vice president of education, correct?
For Western Canada?
For Western Canada, for the Canadian Professional Disc Jockey Association.
I have a business card back here somewhere that says it's something like that.
Really long, fancy, important title that he has. But the biggest thing we've loved about our good friend Dave Ternier is the fact that how he creates connections and leveraging new technologies to do so.
Which he has to do since he lives in the middle of nowhere.
Right. When you live in a town of 3,000 people, what else is there to do?
Listen. This is the second time Vickie's done the middle of nowhere thing, so I'm just going to do something. This is really for the listeners only, but my wife and I moved to Verdun 8 years ago from the city of North Battleford. City of North Battleford's like 20,000 people, so Verdun to North Battleford people was the middle of nowhere, right? But I would say North Battleford people, look, and living in North Battleford, I'm an hour and 15 minutes away from Starbucks. In Verdun, I'm 40 minutes away, so...
Wait, Mitch, how far are you to your closest Starbucks?
I am 65 miles from the closest Starbucks, which is about an hour.
They are almost finished building the fourth one within a mile of my house.
In the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada.
Nevada.
Potato, tomato, tomato.
Exactly.
No.
All right, so
Nevada.
Technology.
Musni. No.
Don't even start. Don't even start.
The blooper reel will be how you pronounce Vickie's last name.
Oh my goodness.
And how you remember. Okay, seriously, let's stay on track here. So, leveraging technology.
Dave.
Yes, we're able to all come together right here on this podcast, courtesy of Zoom. And Dave utilizes Zoom for other endeavors as well.
Piles, not files. Piles. Segue.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm known for utilizing files quite well as well. Watch the last podcast for reference to that. Yeah, technology has just been, I mean, truly with every one of us. I mean, you're only listening to this, you the listener, because of all these amazing technologies that we get to use every single day. But yeah, I'm using this software that we're using to record the podcast or to connect us to this podcast, Zoom. I'm using that for creating connections in a pile of different ways. And one of the ways that I'd shared with Vickie and Mitch that I was doing that was there's a group of us local DJs here in Manitoba who now, without leaving the comfort of our own homes, without having to travel, because I live in the middle of nowhere, we're able to get together once a month online using Zoom and talk about what it is that we're doing at our events. And we have some, small goals and that type of thing that we require every one of us submit to the group ahead of that meeting to hold us all accountable, I guess, to the cost of being involved in meetings if you could. And it's incredible because, yeah, we're hours and hours apart in this province. There's a lot of countryside between a lot of my colleagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of laughed when you said local. You meant within your province because you guys are within a 3-hour.
Yeah, myself to Brenton Thompson, one of the guys on our call. He's 3.5 hours away.
Yeah,
so
he's Winnipeg, and then Corey's like way up north, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's really spread out, so that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really great.
Told us another great story.
Well, before we get to that, let's
let's
touch upon another part of that here. Because what you're doing with that kind of call, you're holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
But you're also creating essentially like a mastermind group where each of you have your own specialties, each of you have your own insights that you can then utilize and help serve the other person on the call. And Dave, you and I are part of another little small group that's kind of a mastermind group as well for us. And I feel that having a mastermind group, having a group of people that you can turn to and bounce ideas off of is a great option and also a great thing to have in business, whether it's you're looking for help on any of the 6 facets, right? So I want to commend you for that thought process and bringing it all together. It used to be just phone calls, but now we can connect, via the camera here and sit in our comfort of our own living rooms in our underwear. Sorry.
I'm used to Vickie when the phrase TMI comes to mind, but congratulations there, Mitch. And I should qualify. This group getting together, Brenton really wanted this to start happening again, and then I was kind of just the person who supplied this as maybe the solution for us to do it regularly. But I also want to say, and I talk about this in a blog post that I wrote quite a while ago that we referenced in the last episode of just from 500 to 3,500, surround yourself with millionaires. And I wrote a little bit about surrounding yourself with people who will build you up. Anybody can do this. But also keep in mind that if you're not included in a group or something like that, find that group, make it happen. You're not going to connect with everybody, but you don't have to jump online for more than 5 minutes to find a whole pile of DJs who might be part of your group. Yeah. I think that's important to know. I mean, I don't want to, I don't want them to feel like they're being shut out because why aren't I a part of any of these groups? Anybody can do it, and it's so easy. And I guess that's what I'd like to promote through this discussion.
Yes, create your own.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to create your own, well,
well, honestly, because it's the kind of thing you have to keep it to a certain number, because if it gets too big,
yes,
the whole dynamic changes. You're not trying to create an association, or another chapter of something. You're just like, a mastermind is the best group, and if you get beyond a certain number, it just doesn't make sense anymore, or it becomes something different. And so
right.
don't get your feelings hurt. I'm not offended. I wasn't invited. I know I don't live in the correct province or country even to get invited to that. But
well, look, and everybody often says, well, Dave, you just connect so well with people and yada yada yada. And the truth is, look, I don't connect well with everybody, and sometimes that connection isn't there for me to continue on the group. Look, many of your viewers and listeners, I'm sure, have been to Mobile Beat Las Vegas, and I've come out of Mobile Beat Las Vegas with, I happen to have lunch with this group of people that I don't talk to that much, and they were talking about a call they do every month, and I was invited in, and you know what? I participated the first 2 times and then didn't see an invite times after that. That's totally fine. None of us click with everybody, and that needs to really be known. It's nothing personal. It's like you said, Vickie, there's a magic number, and I think that magic number for these calls is like 4 to 5, 6 people.
Yeah, I was just going to say my suggestion would be 6 people tops.
Yeah.
In any sort of mastermind call like that, 5 to 6, 4 to 6, some of that neighborhood, with 6 being the cap. If you get over 6, you just can't. Too many people talking at once.
Yep.
And not a clear enough direction. In fact,
well, I'm in a local group, and there were 4 of us when we started, and I started thinking about growth as other people were wanting to join, and in my head, I'm like, do I have to be the one to say no more than 6? And I mean,
right.
Somebody else moved, and so there's still room, but yeah, you have to keep it, or it just changes.
Or here's what you do: you have a group of 6, you have a group of 6. You have another group of 6, and you have another group of 6. So now you're at 24 people. Okay, all fine, well, and good. And then you have a call on another day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, each of the 4 groups of 6, 4 groups of 6 meet. And then on the final day, on Friday, you all get together on a call and share what you developed, one person being the point person for that group of 6, and share what you developed over the week.
Very cool. Yeah, love it. And 2 more comments I want to make to go off of that, Mitch. these people can be anywhere in the country. They can be anywhere in the world. I know here in Canada, we suffer from the challenge of geography.
Yes.
You know, there are 32, 4, 6-ish million people in this massive country.
Mm-hmm.
You're
very spread out.
That logistical challenge, I think, hinders a lot of growth in DJs, and I hope that this idea will help DJs overcome that.
Okay.
I will insist, must use video. Don't do it audio, because the calls are a lot harder to manage then, because you don't have the visual cues of maybe when a person wants to talk or truly what they're saying that you can't see on a.
It's so different with video.
Yeah. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is a connection you made just recently via a book.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
If I could reach, no, my headphones aren't long enough. It's up there in the back. See right there, that little red book.
I see it.
There.
I can see it.
By the way, for anybody who's wondering, no, that's not a pile of junk. Everything that's up there, FYI, little squirrel moment here, because that's my personality. These two know that. Everything up there is something meaningful, special to me from some point in my life, yada, yada, yada. I mean, that right there is an empty Scotch bottle that my dad was given when he was hitchhiking Europe in the 70s. This over here on this side right there is a cassette, one of the very first cassettes.
Wow.
It is Vivaldi.
What? Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It is Vivaldi's Ring of Mystery. If you have children, get them Vivaldi's Ring of Mystery. You can download it from iTunes.
It's an 8-track, Vickie.
Brilliant story. Ignore what these two fools are saying. Inspired by the first love of music, which was classical music. End of that story. The Go-Giver book, which is...
I love Vivaldi.
Yeah, I love Vivaldi. The Go-Giver book just blew my world wide open to a lot of just amazing things when I read it last year. Pardon me, when I listened to the audiobook, I will qualify. It was recommended to me through another podcast I listen to quite faithfully called The Tim Ferriss Show. Tim often asks his listeners what I think is a brilliant question. He says, what is the most common gift you've ever given to people? And I don't really, it's bothering me. I don't remember who the person was in this call, but the guy's the Go-Giver. I've given that book out to more people than I can possibly tell you. And so I downloaded the audiobook, listened to it again, and then jumped online and bought 7 copies to start giving to people who, were special to me, or people who maybe I thought, could really, they needed that little push or something like that. And so then inspired from that was just sharing about it on Facebook, which created a whole pile of new connections with DJs who I don't necessarily talk with a whole lot, but, I received letter mail thanking me for the recommendation of the book with a story about what it did for them.
Like in the mail, like with a stamp?
In the mail with a stamp.
Wow.
Send mail with a stamp.
Send mail with a stamp. What do you know? I received Facebook messages, and it was just really cool. So, what Mitch alluded to, which is the topic of this call, I said, well, hey, if a bunch of us want to get together and yak about this book, why don't we do that using, once again, Zoom? And that took place just recently. And it was neat because it created connections between me and other DJs that I'd actually never had a full conversation with in my life. It was brilliant. Really cool. And from that call, I think we're going to go forward with a few more calls. For anybody who doesn't know, the Go-Giver is a parable. It's a story about a guy named Joe who meets a man named Pindar, also referred to as the chairman. And Pindar, the chairman, shares with Joe his 7 laws of stratospheric success. And the entire theme behind all of this is giving, and how that is the number one principle when it comes to successful, not only business, but personal relationships and personal well-being as well. So yeah, it was fantastic to have this call. And again, technology brought all these people together, some of who had never met before. We had 3 countries represented.
Awesome.
So cool. So
do
fun.
It from the comfort of my office. So if there's any topic anybody's passionate about, throw it out there, get a few people to discuss it. And, we're going to go forward from this call discussing how we have applied these laws to our business, and idea share around that. So I'll open this up. If anybody listening right now has read The Go-Giver and wants to be involved in a future call discussion with me, reach out to me. Find my contact info on probably djthought.com is easiest. And hit me up.
Fun.
Awesome. What a great idea, and what a great way to give back.
Well, and I think about like the book clubs, and I know for me as a working mom and with kids and business, and we have our trivia in the evenings, the thought of like committing to a book club that meets, weekly or monthly or, whatever, it just, I don't know. I don't get excited about adding one more thing, but I'm like, oh, if I could sit, here in my office, in my home and just chat with people that have that common interest and just talk about a book that we've all read that had impact on us, that just seems so much more doable.
Right. And let me man it up here for a quick second. Guys, I've never been a part of a book club. And yes, a part of me felt silly even bringing up this idea. But if you want to bring your glass of scotch to your computer, fine. I'll see you there.
Right.
Awesome.
Today.
I'm drinking water.
I'm drinking something here that some person joked to me a couple of weeks ago and said, Dave, have you got Nemo floating around in there somewhere?
Yeah, what is that?
Fresh water.
Minty fresh.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, thank you for sharing your experience on the podcast today, Dave.
Thanks for joining us again.
So think about ways you can leverage technology and how to connect with others, create stronger and deeper connections. That's what this podcast is all about. I'm Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor.
I'm Certified Personality Trainer Vickie Musni.
Check out Dave at adjthought.com and as one of the big proponents of Bob Berg's The Go-Giver book. Visit him at that, hit him up, and schedule a chat. He'd be glad to chat with you about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Creating Connections podcast with Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor and Certified Personality Trainer Vickie Musni. For more information on providing personal solutions through understanding people better, visit creatingconnections.biz.